Defense this spring, what are your thoughts?
Good. I'm happy. I feel like we've accomplished a lot of things that we set out to accomplish. Number one, I thought we practiced hard and competed hard every day. So I mean that's kind of where it all starts, and feel really good about our guys that way. That we kind of brought it out there every day, and so that always gives you a chance. But otherwise, I think we're part of it is you're trying to get some of your guys that can play and have played, and you're trying to get them to the little higher level of learning and understanding and the small details of things and perfecting their craft. And then we had to find we got to find a lot of other guys that can they play, to what level can they play, to what level can they help us. So there's a little bit of each of that going in there, but I think we probably made strides in every area.
You mentioned Dean Miller the first time we talked to you in the first week of spring. Just how did the rest of the spring unfold, and what are your expectations for him?
Yeah, he's good. He's one of those guys that obviously we need somebody to step up at those positions, and he really helped himself out. I feel like this spring he's really bought into the nutrition and the weight gain, and finally, it's made a tremendous difference for him. He's always been a high motor, good explosion guy, but he's finally his weight is such now that he can go stand in there against some of the tall timber that we have to. So he's done a really good job. Really all spring long he's been noticeable.
That's been a familiar question. Who can step up as a pass rusher for you guys?
Yeah.
2 years ago, you got the answer with Lonnie, and last year with Austin, I think Panagos said, "We're not worried about it. It's happened before." Is there a comfort there?
Yeah, we are. We kind of feel like we're in that situation every year. Maybe everybody is. I don't know, but we have been, and I feel good about our guys, coaches up front, that they do a really good job of really developing players and developing those skills in players. And so if you've got guys with the raw tools, we'll develop them into something. And so Dean is one of those guys. Dak Brinkley, the freshman out here, he's got some real natural tools, and you just got to figure out what we're doing and fully and look out. So I feel confident we'll be able to piece together that position, defensive end, pass rushing position that we need, and so we've done it for the last 3 years. I feel confident we'll be able to get that done again.
Yeah. What have you seen in terms of development from the cornerbacks behind Kobe and Mello, especially with Coach McDonald now?
Yeah, well, obviously Coach McDonald does a really good job with those guys, and really, coaching detail and the things that those guys need. And so again, there's all the raw skill, but it's harnessing the skill and making it work for you. So done a good job, and we still, I think Demarius McGee has done a really good job this spring. He's been healthy finally, and wasn't healthy at all last fall, and so he's a really good cover person. And then all those other freshmen, they've all got literally hundreds of opportunities this spring to get a chance to showcase where they're at, and so at least some of those guys are going to have to play some sort of a role for us. So that's probably still a little bit of a work in progress, but I do think we've got 3, 4, 5 guys there that'll compete at that position, and we'll be all right.
Brian, with Marvin Grant kind of moving some positions,
Yep.
What do you see from the safety group?
Yeah, good. We took probably 4 of our safeties, and we kind of put them out where, if you remember where Craig Young played last year, our field outside linebacker nickel guy. We've kind of cross-trained a bunch of guys in there. Marv is obviously one of them, so he's done a really good job with that. Again, he runs fast, he's long, he's physical, so there's things that are ideal that he can do out there. But then we've trained some others also, so we've got feel like we've got a lot more diversity and some moving pieces back there at the safety spot. And again, I feel like today we probably got about 5, 6 guys that I feel like could play and again could compete and help us win at this level.
Is the ultimate goal to just have like 1 or 2 of those guys do that sort of thing, or are you going to?
Yeah, no, we'll kind of weed that out a little bit, and we already started to weed it out a little bit. Not just some guys are more adapt to it, and some guys are probably just better sticking to maybe just one thing instead of 2 or 3. So that'll weed itself out, because at the end of the day, the guys that are going to do it need to get the repetitions in practice, and if you spread it out too much, then nobody gets enough. So we'll narrow that down to probably 2, 3 guys.
Any surprise leaders emerge on your side of the ball this spring?
I think Cornell Wheeler's done a really good job, considering a guy that, he played quite a bit last year, but I don't know that he was our starter last year. I think he's really done a good job of stepping it up, and I feel like as coaches we've challenged him to do it a little bit, and he's really kind of coming into his own and doing a really nice job in that area. Really, so there's other guys by position, like O.J. Burrows is not he's not going to stand in front of our team and give the rah-rah, but within our position within his position he's done a really good job of trying to lead, right, and lead by example, but also when you have guys as a respect by how you can play, what you say carries more weight. So he's been a little more vocal in that area and doing a really good job. And even guys like, there's some guys like Cole Petrus, he's been in our program since I've been here, and just really be intentional about trying to hold himself accountable and hold others accountable. So there's guys that really at every position kind of stepping up in that area. But defensively, I would still say probably Cornell Wheeler is probably if you had one guy, he's probably the guy.
What have you seen from Javier Darren? What do you feel like he's bringing to the defensive tackles room?
Fun. We're just talking to him over there after practice, and he can do some things from a kind of a quickness, agility perspective that maybe is different than any other guy that we play with in there. So some pass rush stuff, some movements, slants and movement, stuff like that. He's really good at some of those things. So for him, again, he's had 15 practices. So a lot of those other guys have had 3 years, right? So so he's just trying to tell him, hey man, just it'll come to you. We just gotta. Some things take a little bit of time, but he's definitely got some quickness and some athleticness to him that he'll be able to help us in some capacity for sure.
Brian, today the transfer portal opens up officially today. I mean, keeping your eye on that. Do you always look to see how you can?
Yep. Yeah. Because we got to be honest also, and some guys are can play, some guys you feel like are ready to play, and some guys you don't know about. So you've got to always be. You've always got to be. We've kind of got priority of positions and things. That, okay, if we need somebody, this is probably the priority position, and this might be next. But what we don't want to do is just take guys, and and where they're not really going to really make a difference for you, right? We don't need more guys. We need, if we're going to take something, that needs to be a specific type of person that can do a specific thing and will play. So so we always look at that stuff, and I know our recruiting staff looks at every guy that goes in the portal, right, and then certain guys kind of get funneled through to us, and then we kind of take it from there. But yeah, that's already going on. So.